In the traditional motion picture story, the villains are usually defeated. The ending is a happy one. I can make no such promise for the picture you're about to watch. The story isn't over. You and the audience are part of the conflict. What has happened so far and what is happening now is far from encouraging. How we meet the communist challenge depends on you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, this lens needs to be vibed. That's kind of pretty though. Okay, but as you can see, I have so much stuff here on the dining room table that needs to be put away. I just kind of ordered a few packages and I just kind of like threw everything. So yeah, like check this out. I wish you could, I just can't be on camera right now, but I got this really cute Funko Pop. I'm just trying to get only the Avatar collection little by little, but I got this really cute Fire Lord Ozai Funko Pop, and he is looking mean. He is looking bad, and he's like sitting pretty much, yeah, he's totally sitting on a throne of fire. Here you go. Yeah, this guy is bad news. You guys, I highly recommend Avatar The Last Airbender. I'm sure it's on Nickelodeon right now. And of course, Avatar, shoot, what is it called? Oh my gosh. And I'm a fan. Legend of Korra. I'm like trying to do like Katara and Korra's name together. But yeah, those are some great shows. But explicitly and specifically, concretely, ATLA, is it Avatar The Last Airbender, is inherently the best one for me. Like, that's the better show. Even though Korra did have some kick butt episodes. So I have a slew of like products here from Head and Shoulders that I purchased because, yo, your girl, like a lot of people, I do have dandruff, but it's like the kind that's like a life ruiner pretty much. So yeah, so I just have like a bunch of random stuff. Like, this should have been brought down into the car. Yeah, I have like a mask, my headphones, more Head and Shoulders, and cookies, and mail, and this New York sign that I need to like put back next to my Superman painting. Oh my god, these lights are so pretty because the lens isn't properly white. Oh yeah, I have like a box for like a cable hider kind of box, makeup bag, this really cute Christmas present, Christmas ornament that my sister gave me. Freaking pumice stone here, you know. Show you the color on that, if you can see. It's like terracotta pretty much, Aztec-y. But we gotta clean this out because there's just too much stuff. Pills and earrings over here, camera charger, aux cord, tape, a bunch of stuff that just has got to go because we like to enjoy a clean space, you know what I mean? So let me go ahead and put this camera here down and let's get to cleaning. So I just muted this. Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. I think that may be how you pronounce her name. But I have a pretty large, let's turn this on. A pretty large grocery haul to share with y'all. It's so bad on camera, but honestly, I just don't want to change my golden lighting, you know? Do you feel me? It's like, I know I actually have like a ring light and like, you know, photo lights or whatever you want to say, shooting lights. And I can always, you know, just change the bulbs out of this.
If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great.
90s. Oh my god, my brother, he sent me this meme of like Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where his face was like up in the camera. So let me just quickly stop and show you what I'm talking about. It's so funny. So this is what we just saw, right, on the big screen on the television. There we go. Yeah, Natalie Imbruglia's face like in the camera. And there's like this specific meme that my brother was showing me that pretty much shows this of the 90s. So yeah, this is what I was talking about, Sokka and Katara in the back. Yeah, it's like 90s music videos when you think about it. Like, think of like TLC and Dream, He Loves Me, He Loves You Not, and, you know, If You Had My Love by J-Lo. The Cheetah Girls in certain, like, I'm talking about the first movie. Like, a bunch, it doesn't matter. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, a ton of 90s. They just were, oh, Crystal, Supergirl. Look it up, look it up, look it up. Like, so many of these guys were just like in the camera. Their face was just like this. So I was just pointing that out for the torn video. So back to the groceries. Yeah, so yeah, I have a pretty large grocery haul. I was saying that I really apologize about this golden lighting. I hope it doesn't fluster too many people, because I know that obviously I know that I can do like a white daylight to have like a better vision, but like honestly it's just gonna disturb me and you know, put me in a different vibe. This is truly kind of like what the house looks like. So it's been so dark and cozy in the house. I just I lit a couple of candles. Where's the other one? The other one that I moved from the table over here. I have some music videos going that I was listening to. Dido over there, Thank You, one of my favorites. Actually, I think like that song, this is me getting distracted. I'm so sorry. Let's get to this, but last thing I'm gonna say. What was I gonna say? Dido, the very beginning of the song, the lyrics of Thank You kind of like fit really well for today, for today's like weather. She goes, my tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain, and it has been raining. If you see the fire escape, it's like all wet and whatnot. The morning rain clouds up my window and I can't see it all. Even if I could, it would all be gray, which it totally is outside. I forget the rest. I don't forget the rest. I just am not taking my time to remember. When tea's gone cold, I'm wondering, get out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, but I can't see it all. And even if I could, it would all be gray or bad. It all even put your picture on my wall. Yeah. I don't know. It reminds me it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Oh my god. I'm such a dork. Oh my god, I can't help it. I can't help it. Okay, so let's get to this damn food. People are like probably clicked off by now. Like this freaking girl just rattles on and on and on. Okay. All right, here you go, for real. So, I have some baby carrots that I got 2 packs that'll go with some of these hummus for hummus. I don't know what's the plural multiple of hummus, but yo, this one is huge. This has some weight. It could hurt my little wrist here. My God, this is a Jesus, it's a pound. So 14 ounces. Jesus. This is roasted pepper from Sabra and roasted garlic hummus. Side note, every time I see this, I think of The Office when they had transitioned from Dunder Mifflin to Saber.
Saber.
Oh,
It's Saber.
yes.
Of course. Saber.
Good.
This is gonna be a good day. But don't miss it and
Saber.
It just reminds me of that. I realized as I was putting this on the table, the Seagram's ginger ale, I think it's a 12-pack, it's not diet, con sonnet. I really wanted a diet one, but it's okay. It ain't bad. You know what I mean? So, I have that because I just like to pop this into like the top shelf of the fridge, the whole container. So that way all 12 packs are ready and I can just grab and go. Grab and go. So, I also have a 24-pack of Diet Pepsi because that's kind of like a good deal. So, I also have a Deli Fresh oven roasted turkey for sandwiches and wraps. Sargento persnickety cheese for persnickety people, which I totally am, if you can tell. Sharp cheddar. It's like 11 slices. On the vine tomatoes for some salads. This is like a butter lettuce. It's quite huge and it really is fresh, so I'm quite impressed with that. Hearts of romaine, there are about 3 of them. Again for salads and wraps when I don't feel like eating bread. I have 2 Ocean Spray grapes. Red seedless, and then this one is black seedless. So, yo, I have to tell you. At like a local store near the apartment, they had grapes just about this size and they were selling it for $17. 17 flippin' dollars. Like, you almost want to laugh at the cashier. Obviously, it's not her who's, setting these prices, but it's like, are you insane? It's not wine. You know what I mean? Like, $17 for, I think, less than this. And I got a sale on these. Like, I was like, oh, let me take an opportunity. Because I had, like, a coupon. So, I think I got this one for, like, 4 something. And this one was about $6. So happy with that. You guys, $17. Like, please comment below. Would you purchase grapes for about this many grapes, right? Like 3/4 of this for $17. Like, I was just like, this is insane. I was like, put that back nice and slow. Okay. Seriously. Oh, before I forget this, because it's hiding, I have some log cabin syrup, because that's just an essential, like honey or salt in the house. You need syrup. You really do. 2 packs of grape tomatoes for salads again. These are some brown eggs. I think 18 or 24 count. I don't know. This, I was like, what the heck is this? I don't buy things like this. I think I accidentally clicked on it. Like, if my family is watching, they would know, like, when has she ever, this is not something that we normally would get. So, I'm going to use it and hopefully it turns out great. But I'm going to double check my cart to see if that was a mistake or not, because I certainly didn't put this on the list. Broccoli florets, 2 packs of that, and that's like, that's 12 ounces. I have a tiny little mini seedless watermelon for like a snack or a whole meal, if I don't feel like eating anything. Chobani yogurt, this one's strawberry, as again for a snack. Organic French vanilla granola. That's all I could find, the organic, so I took it. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was about like $3 or so. Some milk, because I do have a bunch of oatmeal that I'm going to try to eat. I am not an oatmeal person. I have not had oatmeal in years, since like grade school, you know, so I will try. So I have some, it's not whole milk, it's like the 2%, I think. I have some Activia, strawberry and peach. This will go with the granola. Basically, I put yogurt, vanilla yogurt, and some of the granola with some honey, and call that like, you know, a little dish or a little meal. Some wraps. This one I think is a sun-dried tomato one, and this is a spinach one. I also have some Stouffer's lasagna with meat sauce. This is just one you're like, I can't go on anymore. Like, you can't lift a finger except for pushing the microwave button or the oven button to like pop that in. I also have some orange juice because I am going to be taking some iron supplements, and apparently that's the best way you can consume for it to actually work. I have like a little bit of a like hemoglobin issue, like sickle cell trait type of deficiency type of blood thing, that I was like, oh, let me try to take a little bit of iron, and so I need that orange juice for that. I actually I hate orange juice. I'm like, ugh. And then the last but not least, I do have some Naked Green Machine. I usually do Bolt House, the Green Goodness, but it was just a little bit more expensive. I was like, okay. So I decided to get some of the Naked instead. And I think that's everything.
So hungry.
Say what you wanna say, I already know your mind. Take what you want, take a piece of me, it seems to ease your mind.
So I'm trying to figure out exactly which book I should start with for January. I am already in the middle of these two here. Titanic and this really slim, politically correct bedtime stories, Modern Tales for Our Life, and Times. That's something I'm already into. Now for the newest book, I'm trying to determine which vibe I want to go for. I've got Sam's Letters to Jennifer, which I think I really want to actually get started in reading, because just yesterday the temperature dropped to like 8 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's pretty cold where I'm from. So yeah, I think I really want to get into this immediately. The setting is going to be on Lake Michigan in Chicago, so you can kind of understand how much the weather is going to play a role in this story. That's just something that I remember so fondly when having read this before, was the kind of Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights, cabin, woodsy, wintry feel to it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna actually get started with Sam's Letters to Jennifer and cozy on up, make myself a cup of tea, and start reading this. I really wanted to get like a head start, a jump start on this, and I don't think it'll take me too long. There are about 79, oh my goodness, chapters. I like James Patterson. He puts me in a peaceful place. Yeah, look at that. Lake Michigan again, Chicago. It's like full closure. He mentions it in the beginning and towards the end. But they're about like 261 pages, so and this could be actually considered Lake Michigan with this beautiful, peaceful, somber cover. So yeah, I got a little bird here just kind of gliding over the water. I really wish there was a movie of this. I would totally fund that if I could. Like, I would participate in funding for that. So let's get started with that.
I'm hungry. I'm so hungry I could eat a whole elephant.
Yum! Yeah? Okay. Okay, as you can tell, it is pretty dark. I've got the lights on right now, and hopefully that's a-okay with you guys. So, and I switched out of that fuzzy looking teddy bear stripy sweater that I was wearing from before. Oh my goodness, so I have been reading, and I can't believe that I can say that I have been reading. So, first and foremost, I have dived into this little satirical fun book. I wanted to call it a nightmare because that's how it started for me. I honestly thought that this book, like, I was about to have a stroke, like a little pulsating headache coming on. And I was like, I shouldn't read this. This is an immediate DNF, right? Did not finish. I was mistaken because I already have laughed out loud, and I find that when you are able to laugh out loud when reading, then the author has done a fantastic job at trying to convey comedy and his message across that's supposed to be funny. So basically, I'm on the Little Red Riding Hood story in the book, and I was kind of shocked because so many things did not go according to plan. Obviously, by the title of this is called Politically Correct Bedtime Story, so things are not going to go exactly as they normally would in the original stories. I'm not sure if Little Red Riding Hood is a Grimm's brother, or Brothers Grimm. The Brothers Grimm, or what's the other guy's name? Hans Christian Andersen, I believe. I could be completely off, but yeah, I'm not quite sure where the story hails from, but for sure this is something I just want to quickly read to you, like a little portion of it. I was like, what is going on in this book? This is so 2022, 2021, but it is a 1994 published book, and I was like, oh my goodness, they are very advanced and far out in their notions. So just to set the scene, Red Riding Hood has come across the wolf, and everything is just so, as they say, politically correct in the way of speaking, in the way of addressing certain things. So it's like, it's unnerving, honestly, because it feels like it's not real. It's too polite, you know? So, okay. Okay, I'm going to quickly read this portion here. just so you can kind of get the way that he wrote it. And it's just going to be from beginning to end of this little short story. So, on the way to Grandma's house, Red Riding Hood was accosted by a wolf who asked her what was in her basket. She replied, "Some healthful snacks for my grandmother, who was certainly capable of taking care of herself as a mature adult." The wolf said, "You know, my dear, it isn't safe for a little girl to walk through these woods alone." Red Riding Hood said, "I find your sexist remarks offensive in the extreme, but I will ignore it because of your traditional status as an outcast from society, the stress of which has caused you to develop your own entirely valid worldview. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be on my way." Red Riding Hood walked on along the main path, but because his status outside society had freed him from slavish adherence to linear Western-style thought, the wolf knew a quicker route to grandmother's house. He burst into the house and ate Grandma, an entirely valid course of action for carnivore such as himself. Then, unhampered by rigid traditionalist notions of what was masculine or feminine, he put on grandma's nightclothes and crawled into bed. Red Riding Hood entered the cottage and said, "Grandma, I have brought you some fat-free, sodium-free snacks to salute you in your role of a wise and nurturing matriarch." From the bed, the wolf said softly, "Come closer, child, so that I might see you." Red Riding Hood said, "Oh, I forgot you were as optically challenged as a bat. Grandma, what big eyes you have." "They have seen much and forgiven much, my dear." "Grandma, what a big nose you have." "Only relatively, of course, and certainly attractive in its own way." "It has smelled much and forgiven much, my dear." "Grandma, what big teeth you have." Her screams were heard by a passing woodchopper person, or log fuel technician, as he preferred to be called. When he burst into the cottage, he saw Melly and tried to intervene. But as he raised his axe, Red Riding Hood and the wolf both stopped. "And just what do you think you're doing?" asked Red Riding Hood. This is the part I started laughing at. The woodchopper person blinked and tried to answer, but no words came to him. "Bursting in here like a Neanderthal, thrusting your weapon to do your thinking for you," she exclaimed. "Sexist specious! How dare you assume that women and wolves can't solve their own problems without a man's help?" When she heard Red Riding Hood's impassioned speech, Grandma jumped out of the wolf's mouth, seized the woodchopper's person's axe, and cut his head off. After this ordeal, Red Riding Hood, Grandma, and the wolf felt a certain commonality of purpose. They decided to set up an alternative household based on mutual respect and cooperation, and they lived together in the woods happily ever after. And that is the politically correct Little Red Riding Hood story. I terribly enjoyed that, and I find that this author did a good job in kind of rewriting it in his own fashion. So lots of fun, and I know I'm going to enjoy the rest of this book as well. It's making me giggle. Alrighty, so I have been reading, Sam's Letters to Jennifer, and oh my gosh, I am absolutely loving it. I'm about 65 pages in, and in one sitting, I just read about 65 pages, and I couldn't believe how fast it was going. Yeah, this book is really good so far. We haven't gotten to the intense section of the book, as I know it is coming, but it is so excellent so far, just as good as I remembered. Sam is Jennifer's grandmother, and of course she has an androgynous name, so picking this up, you wouldn't necessarily guess that this is a relationship between two women, her grandma and granddaughter. So yeah, basically, just to kind of set the scene a little bit, Sam has taken a fall in her retirement home, and it is by this beautiful Lake Geneva. So just think of Canadian and of course Michigan, Illinois area of the United States or North America. And it's just a cold area, beautiful lake, summer vacation homes kind of thing. And Jennifer is this very impactful and kind writer. She kind of does a column for this magazine, I believe it is, where she just, she just gives advice and stories, and she's phoned in and returns to Lake Geneva, where Sam has taken her fall, and I believe it was a priest. No, not a priest, a reverend. There's a difference a little bit, I guess, depending on what it is, because some priests can be called reverend. But yes, somebody at the hospital goes ahead and gives Jennifer a set of keys to her grandmother's home, and she makes herself, comfortable and enters the house. She finds these letters that are all bundled up and have a message on top of them saying that, Jennifer, this is something for you to read, take your time reading them, don't just gobble them up. And as you begin to start to read these letters by her grandmother, Sam, you can really see that Jennifer is kind of discovering her grandmother for the first time. There's a particular line that she kind of opens up with as like a, where she says that, the grandmother says that she never loved her husband, and you're like, why is that? Flip through the pages, and you come to quickly find out within the next chapter or so that he was not very kind to her. He was abusive, and he physically abusive and verbally abusive, and it's just like, it's a really kind of like a slap in the face for the reader, because it's like everything is going so peacefully well, and then you're kind of hit with it like a truck. So so far I'm terribly enjoying it, and I really am just gonna continue reading to see what else this is about. But I really am loving this right now. The pace is just so, like, you honestly feel like you're brought to this environment, and I just absolutely love it. So far, including Titanic, and I'm not actually, I was going to finish this. So far, I said, I'm reading these two right now today, so that's pretty cool. I'm not going to read, I don't think I want to read Titanic in the evening, because I will dream about Titanic. I didn't say that in my previous Christmas vlog, but when I first read the first, few chapters of Titanic right before bed, I'm like, you read before you go to bed. I had the worst dream. I won't call it a nightmare. I didn't get that intense because I knew I was dreaming. But yeah, I had a very intense dream where I was on the ship, and it was pretty much at that point where it was sinking, where they're doing the last rites for people. The band was the band was playing music to calm everybody down. People are just it's awful. So like basically I was on the sinking ship as I'm dreaming, and that terrible creaking wooden sound that the Titanic makes as it's going under. Things are just going I can't make that sound, but you know what I mean. I'll see if I can possibly insert something in here that might sound like it. But yeah, just things are just coming apart and falling apart, and I just had to snap myself awake. So I don't think it's a good idea for me to read Titanic if I want to, have a good night's sleep, which we all need and want, right? Okay, so I will catch up with you guys a little bit later after I've done some more reading.
So it is the next day. I was reading quite a bit last night. It was going pretty fast, if I do say so myself, because once you know you're intrigued and interested in something, you just kind of want to like, what's next, what's next, what's next. So yeah, I was reading a bunch last night, and it was just super cozy and cold, and of course it has been snowing, which makes it just the perfect weather to be reading bedtime stories that have a little bit of an adult edge, as well as the great Titanic, which is just completely enveloped by the like ocean freeze, pretty much, and it's written all over the book that the weather plays such a large role. It's like, oh, it's nippy out here. Yes, but it's very cold, and as well, same thing with the Lake Geneva book, I want to say, which is Sam's Letter. So it was just the perfect environment for that. I absolutely was having a fantastic time reading, and I just felt so like, hey, I'm getting my tasks done. I am setting out what I wanted to do, So yeah, so happy about that. I'm actually gonna go ahead and plop myself down on the carpet, on the ground, and just kind of close out this vlog. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming along with me and hanging out with me during this reading vlog. Oh my gosh. So Titanic has, I'm not quite done. I just have like a few more pages left, but I'm going to close out the vlog without finishing it. Of course, I'll be done before January. But yeah, Titanic has just been so good. You are absolutely immersed in the world of Titanic, basically being on the ship and the ebb and flow of the ocean under you, the scariness of being out in the middle of nowhere with only hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet of water under you. Oh my gosh, it makes me a little like, I think the word might be agoraphobic. Oh, is it agoraphobic? Fear of open spaces, that one anyway. It's so darn scary. They keep alluding and they keep telling you and foreshadowing that, hey, this is such a grand ship. Nothing's gonna happen. It's all right in here. Like, it's lucky we're on this vessel, and, the sea is such a monstrous blah, blah, blah creature that, the Titanic will not be swallowed by the sea. So it's like, as a reader, I'm just like, I know what's coming, and I'm just waiting for the moment that the iceberg collides with the ship. I don't want to say too much because I have, more to say during my January wrap up, but I love Barry's character. He's so kind and sweet, and just like, he's the hero of the story. I have no idea if he's going to survive or not. Not a clue. He's run into some trouble in the ship with those kids from his neighborhood, from Scotland, I believe it was. Not Ireland, right? Let me quickly check. Ireland, excuse me. From Ireland. Yeah, he's run into trouble with those kids who are in third class all the way down in the lower decks. And, yeah, he's having problems on the ship already. They're foreshadowing, like, him using certain equipments that he's picked up. And again, I'll talk more about that during my wrap up. But oh my gosh, I'm nervous to continue because I don't want this character to die. I don't want him to die. Yeah, Sam's Letters has been absolutely incredible as well. I am, inching towards the end. It's such a fast read. You're just flipping through it so darn fast, and you're getting to know, the characters so well as well. And then Politically Correct, I think I have my favorite book, my favorite story out of the collection of stories. It has to be probably Little Red Riding Hood. Maybe second best might be Rumpelstiltskin, or the girl who could sew yarn or twine into gold. Oh my gosh. Or The Emperor's New Clothes. I don't know. We'll talk about that again. But yeah, such fun reads. Great start to the year for January. I will catch you in my very next video. Bye.
At night,